Hi, this is Sandy, and I'm here for hashtag FDC4, hosted by Shanna at Shanuki Art. And I've picked out some things for this week. Each week we have some prompts based on the cards for the previous 3 years. And so this week it was Specimen Window, Animal, Washi Tape, Bright, Sentiment, Stack It Up. And so I decided instead of Specimen Window, I just would do a window. And I had this cute sticker from Art by Marlene that had the cow. So I thought I'd put the cow on it. And then it said bright. So I thought I had this really bright paper that also came from Art by Marlene, a collage book that she had. And I thought I would use that as the background paper. And then I saw this, and when I kind of laid it out on the card, I thought this would be cute up on the top. And then one of the prompts was sentiment, and so I found this in the Tim Holtz Tiny Words, and it said look on the bright side, so I thought I'd put that on the bottom. But I thought I wanted the cow to stand out a little bit more in the frame, so I'm going to glue it onto this. It's a piece of watercolor card that I had the scrap of, and I'm just going to glue it on there and cut around it so that the cow kind of pops on that and stands out away from the background. So I'm just going to work at putting this together, and excuse my reach. This is very thin paper, so I think I'm just going to use a glue stick to put it on. Sometimes if I use the glue on it, it can show where I glued it a little bit because the paper is so thin. But what I love about it is that it's so bright and colorful. And so I'll cut around the edge of that. I think this is going to be a whimsical card. When it said bright, I immediately thought of the things I have from Art by Marlene because they're bright and colorful and fun and very whimsical. And the cards I'm using are very small, so a lot of the animal things that I have wouldn't necessarily fit very well on this card, but I looked through what I had and found the face of this cow, and I thought that will work. So I'm going to glue my frame onto this watercolor scrap I've got. I had thought about putting the cow behind the frame because that's what you would have in a specimen window, and then you'd have a piece of acetate and then something behind it. But his big ears didn't fit behind there, and I didn't really want to hide his ears behind the frame, so I decided I'm altering that prompt a little bit to be a window instead of it being necessarily a specimen window. It's a window. And then this way I can put him on top and we can still have his big ears there, which I think are cute. I think it's cute that he's wearing glasses. Not that you'd ever go out in the field and see a cow in glasses, but it's part of the whimsical part of it, I feel like, that makes it really cute. Cute and fun. Okay. I'm going to leave enough room for my sentiment at the bottom. I think that'll work fine. You can tell this was a scrap. I had used it somehow, written on it for some reason. But I love being able to use up scraps. It gives me joy when I'm able to take some scraps that I have that I felt like I could use for something, so I don't want to throw them away, and then I'm able to use them and make something creative out of them. I don't know if this is a Mr. or Mrs. cow, but anyway, it's a cute cow. And then I wanted to add something extra, so I had this strip that was part of the die cuts for Art by Marlene. And I thought it would just look really cute here on the top. And I realize now that I could have waited to punch the hole in the top of that because I now need to do it again. But that's okay. I'll cut the sides and then punch the hole. Okay. And then I have the sentiment left to put on the card. Look on the bright side. Try to get kind of even on both sides with the same amount left on each side. And I think that's going to be my card for this week for Full Deck Challenge 4. And I think it really turned out cute. Thank you for watching my video.